All right, welcome everybody. I know this is an unusual time for me. My name is Julie Brown. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I tried to do a live video last night on my normal Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time and had all sorts of technical difficulties. So I took those posts down and I'm trying to redo it tonight or this morning. I'm not sure if anyone will be on with me. I know I had a bunch of you on last night, and I do apologize for all of the issues last night. But if you do come on this morning, or if you're new to watching me, please type in comments. Let me know you're here. And if you have any questions while I am doing this presentation, again, just type in the comments and I will see them and be able to answer your questions. Again, I apologize to all of you that were on with me last night. With so many issues going wrong, I have solved the problem with my iPad. And of course, it was a problem I had caused. It wasn't the iPad, as normal, right? I think we hate it when we figure out it was us that caused the problem instead of just the iPad being wrong. So let's get started. I have a few housekeeping things to take care of, and then we'll get started with the cards that we're going to make, and you're going to be so excited. I can't wait for you to see the cards. So for those of you that are planning on placing orders with me, please use this hostess code for any orders under $150. You can order through me at juliebrown.stampinup.net. And don't forget to check out my Pinterest and Facebook pages. Of course, you're on the Facebook page now, but I also have a Pinterest. Oh, I should be putting, instead of Facebook, YouTube channel. I normally upload all of my videos from here onto the YouTube channel. So make sure that you check that out. Most importantly, I do a lot of cards when I'm doing this, and I will show you other samples tonight. And I normally do not do videos of them, but they will get eventually posted onto my blog, and you'll be able to see the step-by-step instructions there. The best way to do that is when you get into my blog, on the right-hand side, there's a little follow me section. If you'll put your email in there, then anytime I load a new card, it will notify you. So if the card you're looking for pops up, then it automatically will let you know it's there. So don't forget to follow me on my blog. All right, so let's get started and let's hope everything goes smoothly this time. Again, don't forget, you can put in comments in the bottom. I'm really not expecting anyone on with me right now because it is an unusual time for me to be on. So let's get started. So I decided that I wanted to work with, Stampin' Up! Has a special going right now with Celebration from it started August 3rd and it goes through the end of this month, where with minimum purchases, you can get free product. And I feel like I've kind of let you guys down because I haven't really showed you a lot of creations that you can do with the items that are in the celebration. So there's tons of items. So the first one we're going to work with is this one here. And with a $50 purchase, you can get this Be Dazzling paper. And this is it. Look how shiny, pretty it is. And then the other thing that we're going to work on today, and this one actually coordinates with a stamp set in our annual catalog. And this is called Summer Shadow Dies. Now this one, because there's more to it, it does require a $100 purchase to get this one. But it coordinates with this shaded summer stamp set that you can buy in the annual catalog. So let me just put this up so you guys know what we're working with today. So we're going to be working with the shaded summer stamp set, which is in the annual catalog. The Summer Shadow Dies, which is in the Celebration, and you can get this through the end of this month. Once September 30th comes, you will no longer be able to get the two Celebration items. You can't just outright purchase them. You have to make a purchase, and then you get it for free. And then we're going to be working with the Be Dazzling specialty paper, and that you can get free with a $50 purchase. And please excuse my dog. He has decided, apparently, that there are boogeymen outside and he needs to bark all day long. So if you hear him barking, I apologize. So the first thing that I want to do, and I actually learned this from Patty Bennett, and it was kind of funny because after I saw what she did, I looked at this page here, And this kind of tells us that we don't always, especially Julie Brown, does not always read her catalog, because if you'll notice down here, it actually showed them using a spritzer and coloring this paper. And luckily, Patty Bennett picked up on that. And so let me show you what I've done. So I used, Stampin' Up! Sells these spritzers. And so I used a spritzer. I filled it with Gorgeous Grape. I did Gorgeous Grape, Flirty Flamingo, and Shaded Spruce. And I filled it with the ink refillers. And then I filled the rest of it. I have this little, it's an old infant's Tylenol syringe. And I actually filled it up to here with 91% alcohol, rubbing alcohol, not drinking alcohol. And I put that in here as well. And then I shook it up and got it all nice and mixed up. And then I sprayed these papers. Now I have a little station that I do this in, but you could go, Patty Bennett suggested this, great suggestion. You could go to the Dollar Tree and get, let me just switch back to me while I'm talking. You could go to the Dollar Tree and get those like 9x13 aluminum pans and lay these down in the pans. I think you get 2 of them for $1 and they'll last for a while. And then when they get so bad you can't use them anymore, you can just throw them out. But that's just a really good suggestion. Thank Patty Bennett for that. So anyway, let me show you what happens when you do this. So this is what it looks originally. And then look what happens when you spray it. Here's the Gorgeous Grape. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. And here is the Shaded Spruce. I know, I'm in love with this one. Right? And all I did was put it in the spritzer with alcohol, rubbing alcohol. I keep saying rubbing alcohol. And then I just sprayed this, and look, the gold becomes Gorgeous Grape, it becomes Shaded Spruce, and then I did Flirty Flamingo. So yes, brilliant, brilliant. And like I said, it kind of told me I don't really always look at my catalogs really well, because dang it, it was in that catalog and I just didn't see it. So I've done a lot of the prep work, but I'm going to show you how I put this card together. And the layout that I'm using, I actually saw on Pinterest, and Shirley Gentry did this layout. So I'm starting with a Gorgeous Grape base. And I'm going to bring in, oh, I'm sorry, before I do that, let me pop this up here. I know this looks like a lot, but it's because we are layering a lot. And so here's all the cuts. If you want them, you can take a screenshot of that. You'll also be able to visit my blog later, because I will have this card on my blog with all of these card cuts. But if you want to take a quick screenshot, you can do that. So let me get that out of the way. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure we had that going. Okay, so this is the hand-pinned designer series paper. And I am just going to stick this on the front. Once you have all the pieces cut out, I know that looked like a lot of pieces, but once you have all the pieces cut out, this actually goes together really quick. All right, and I'm going to lay that like so. Then I came in, and I didn't show you how to do this last on the one that messed up last night, but then I had a 4x4, and this is also the hand-pinned designer series paper. And I thought maybe I should show you guys how I cut this at an angle. So I just want to cut it at an angle. And the way that you do that is you position this so that the corner is right in the middle of the track. And so I'm going to stick that like so. Stick that like so. Make sure it's lined up properly. And then I'm just going to cut. And then what that does is it gives me 2 diagonals, which is what I was looking for. But I want to actually have a little piece, a little thin line of white. And so this is a piece of the basic white. And I am going to attach this to this like so, and then I am going to cut it so that it leaves me a small strip. And I am going to use my liquid glue for this, and hopefully I've got one here that has glue. And the reason I'm doing that is because I really want these tips to stay down and in place. Sorry, excuse my cough. All right, so then we're going to lay that on here like so. Don't worry, I'm getting to the Be Dazzling paper and the dies. I've just got to get the kind of the card put together. And when you do spray that paper, I did want to note this to you. When you do spray the paper, you do want to, I got a little glue there, so I'm cleaning that off. You do want to make sure that you let it dry before you use your dies on it. And it only takes, I'm going to say maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes to let it dry because of the alcohol, depending on how much you saturate it. If you saturate it quite a bit, then it might take a little bit longer to dry. So now what I do is I want to give myself this little a little bit of a border here. And so I put it on that white, and then I'm just going to cut like so, again at a diagonal. Now this piece is, you'll see a piece that I put on the front with a sentiment on it, and this is the piece that I will have cut that out from, just so you know you're not wasting all of that. You're still going to have quite a bit left over. Okay, so then it leaves you this really pretty border like so. And then I'm just going to take this now and adhere it like so onto the front of the card base. Again, it was a lot more fun last night because I had ladies on, but I understand. I was like, it literally shut down on me right in the middle of me doing this. But I did get most of the card done, so I know most of you got to see that. But I just wanted to make sure that I had this on my Facebook for you guys to go back and look, because you didn't get to see all of the extra cards that I made. Okay, so now we've got this like so. So then what I did is I came in with these dies and I cut out this die here. I cut out 2 in Gorgeous Grape and 1 in Flirty Flamingo. And then this solid die here, I cut out 3 of the Shaded Spruce leaves. And then I used this detailed die and this detailed die to cut out the colored Be Dazzling paper that I colored. And so I'm going to show you how to attach one of these just so you see. So this, I'm going to use the flower die. So this was this die and this was this die. And so I want you guys to imagine, you know, yes, this bedazzling paper is really pretty and very gorgeous, but think about when you see this all put together, look how pretty these dies are and these flowers are. So I'm using my silicone mat, and I wanted to I already put all the other pieces together, but I wanted to show you this one because this little piece, see this little curve right here? That's going to help me align when I line this up. And so I'm just going to, and I noticed I didn't get all of the, there goes my dog again. Another boogeyman must be close by. He's been so funny lately. And so I'm just going to apply some liquid glue. And you'll see that I just kind of, you know, I'm trying to get a couple of these top edges because I want this to lay down well. And then, like I said, I'm using this little curve over here on this side. And then when I turn this over, I have that same curve right here. And so I know that I can just line that up and it'll line up perfectly and lay down the way that I want it. All right. So there we go. And isn't that beautiful with that paper on it? So I do want to give a little disclaimer here. Stampin' Up! Does not suggest that we use our dies or our punches with this type of paper because it's got all these little metallic flecks and stuff in it, and it could dull your dies. But I use these dies, and I personally, this is not Stampin' Up! Talking, this is Julie Brown talking. I personally think it's okay if you're just going to do a couple. I would not make 100 cards and be cutting that type of paper 100 times because I think that would definitely dull my dies. All right, so now we're going to put this beautiful card together. And it does work on them, but again, with the punches, you need to be really careful because sometimes when you, if it's a really detailed punch or has really like tiny tips like a star or something, it may not punch out when you're using paper other than cardstock or designer series paper. So that's my disclaimer for the day. Dun dun dun. Okay. So now I'm just going to, and I'm putting quite a bit. You'll see this is more than you normally see me put glue on. And so I'm just going to lay this leaf down here in this corner. Then I'm going to come in with one of my gorgeous grape ones. And I'm just doing the center, but I am getting quite a bit of glue on there because I'm gluing paper to glitter paper or Be Dazzling paper. And I want to make sure I get a good hold on that. So I'm just going to kind of hold that down a little bit, especially over here where it's attaching to that leaf. All right. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to, in this top corner, put another leaf. I'm so sorry about my dog. He has just been crazy lately with the barking. And hopefully maybe you guys can't even hear it, which would be great. And then I'm going to come in with, remember I told you I did 2 of the gorgeous grape. And so I'm going to come in with this one. And I want to put this so that I'm leaving space between these two for my Flirty Flamingo flower. All right. Sorry, I've got a catch in my throat. All right. And then I'm going to come in with this last little leaf, and I want it to be kind of like so on the page. And the last flower I'm actually going to be popping up. But as you can see, once you get these pieces cut out, it goes together. This card goes together really fast. This is still sticking up a little more than I want, but as you keep kind of pushing it down, that glue, you know, with our liquid glue, it takes a little bit of time for it to get real solid and hard, and so you still have time to, and that's so you have time to move it around. So I want to kind of offset this flower a little bit, but I want to use dimensionals, and so I'm going to put a dimensional here, here, and here. So let me bring those in, and I want to use mini dimensionals for this. What did I say? How did I want to? Okay, that's the top. Okay, so I'm going to put one there. And if you guys haven't seen this, this is our Take a Pick tool. It has tons of uses besides picking up dimensionals and taking off the paper off the top like you're watching me do. It has a putty end that picks up, and you'll see me do that when I put in the centers. And then it also has a spatula end, which you'll see me use next week. So yeah. So now I'm just going to bring this in, and again, I want it a little bit lower. So I'm going to lay that on like so, and this is the Flirty Flamingo with that glitter paper. And then what I'm going to do is come in, and I've pre-cut these. And again, I showed you the cuts at the beginning, so you have the cuts. And I'm going to come in with our Gorgeous Grape ink and a sentiment from that stamp set, which is, remember, this is the stamp set that matches it, Shaded Summer. And as soon as I'm done with this card, make sure you keep watching, because I'm going to show you some really fun cards that I made, which some of you got to see some of them last night, but I designed a new one when I was pouting last night that my site went down. And I was looking at some pieces that I had left over from making this card and decided to design a completely other card. And so there is one more surprise tonight or today that you didn't get to see last night. Isn't that fun? That's what I do when I pout. I design. So, you know, that always gets me in a better mood. When I get to create and design cards, I absolutely love it. So again, I'm using liquid glue because I am gluing to something that is like textured. I use liquid glue when I do when I'm gluing to embossed folders, and like I said, anything that has like a texture. So I'm going to back that like so. Whoops, I dropped that. So it looks like so. And then I'm going to come in. This is the Gorgeous Grape sheer ribbon. And I'm just going to cut some angles here on this and kind of measure how big I want that. And then I'll come in with, sorry, excuse my arm for my reach. I had that in front of me instead of beside me where I usually have it. But see, I use my pick a tool to pick up my glue dots. Yeah, this has like become my favorite friend. And I just, I get Paper Pumpkin subscriptions for my grandkids. And so yesterday they were after school, or no, I'm sorry, it was Monday on Labor Day. They wanted to work with their paper pumpkins, and so I taught them how to use this tool, and they are in love with it. In love with it. Okay, so again, I'm just going to bring in my liquid glue. I think I'm finally getting to the end of this one. Let me grab my other one. There we go. More glue. And you'll notice I sometimes tear off these little, the plastic coverings that go over that just because they start to bug me. Don't know why. I'm sure it's a personal thing. Alrighty, so then we're just going to take that and get that on, whoops, get that on there straight. And so that's the front of the card. Isn't it pretty? Sparkly and pretty. Oh, I just love this card. I'm in love with this card. In love with it. So for the inside, what I did is I simply just brought in another, oh shoot, I didn't cut it. Hold on. I've got to cut it. I'm going to cut a little strip of this. Here, I'll just show you. I'll bring in my cutter. To go on the bottom of the inside of the card. So I'm going to cut it at a 1/2 inch by 4. And then I'm just going to put this across the bottom just to give it some sparkle on the inside, because you know you can't have all that sparkle on the outside and then not put it on the inside. Let me make sure this is okay. And so I am going to, and then I brought in a different sentiment. You guys know me. If you don't know me, I'll explain it. I love sentiment stamp sets because I just, you know, like to mix and match them and use them for different occasions. I just like having them. Even though I like to journal and I like to write little notes to my friends, sometimes I just want to stamp something and sign my name on the inside. I'm lining this up here so that it's straight, because I've learned that when you stamp, if you will line it up so that it's straight, then when you stamp it straight. So this is in your words, and this is actually another celebration. And so if you host a party, and for those of you that are looking at this and saying, hey, I would love to do that, and you're not in my area, I can still do it online with you, and we have until September 30th. And anyway, this is one of the sets that if your party gets to be $150, you will get this for free. So Celebration is like a ton of free stuff. It's always the best time to join Stampin' Up. So if you're considering joining Stampin' Up, not only do you get $125 worth of products for free, but you get to pick, if you look here on the Celebration catalog, let me find it. See, there's that free host stamp set. And then you can choose, so if you sign up, it's costs you $99, but you get to choose $125 worth of product. And you get a bundle, a free bundle. And so if you don't know what a bundle is either a stamp set and a punch, or kind of like what I'm using, a stamp set and dies. And you can choose from any of these beautiful bundles, and most of these are in the mini catalog that's going on right now. So great time to join. Yeah, so, you know, I'd love to have you be part of my team and join me. So if that's something that you've been considering, now is a really good time to think about doing that. All right, so then we're going to use this Hope This Card Makes You Smile. And again, this is this is the sentiment, the free sentiment stamp that you get if you host a party with me. And like I said, you can get your friends together. You can be at your house. If you're in my area, you can come to my house. If you're not in my area, we will do it online. And if you're interested or think you're interested, I can show you how to do that. And it's tons of fun, whether it's online or in person. Trust me, you're gonna have a blast. So I'm just using, this is our Stampin' Seal Plus. We have Stampin' Seal that's regular and Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'm finding I really like the Stampin' Seal Plus. The only downfall to this is once it's down, and so you need to make sure that you are lining it up correctly the first time. The regular Stampin' Seal, you can pull it back up if you do it right away without destroying the paper underneath. This one, pretty much once it's down, it's down. All right, so there you go. So we have the happy birthday here, and then the love, pretty sparkly there. So now what I want to do is I'm going to show you some other cards that I designed. And I designed the first few, I designed using this Shaded Summer, which I purchased, and then I ended up getting the dies from the Celebration. And remember, these dies will only be available until September 30th. So if it's something you're falling in love with, don't hesitate. So, and I did some coloring techniques here. So this is the first card that I designed, and this is called our Pattern Party Designer Series paper. And what I did, you'll notice that this image has two different colors in it. How did you do that, do you say? So what I did, and actually it has three colors, because if you'll notice, there's like two tones in the flowers. And so the way I did this is I actually used our Stampin' Right markers, not our blends. This does not work with the blends, it's just the markers. And I colored directly onto the stamp set. That way I could make the leaves green, I could do the Daffodil Delight and the Mango Melody in the middle. And then these obviously are the dies. So this is this die here and the leaf die. And so that's one of the cards. I just did a little thank you card. And then again, just put a little strip there. And don't you love the sentiments in this? This comes from this Shaded Summer. It has the thank you, and then it has above and beyond, you go there a lot. Isn't that a wonderful thank you card to send somebody? I think so. So the next one that I did, I call it my kind of my grunge. And so I used crumb cake, and I second generationed this stamp here for the background. So I made my own background. I roughed up the edges, and then I stamped this stamp and this stamp onto Very Vanilla, and then cut those out, and then did the leaves. Now this leaf, I want you to look closely at this leaf. So instead of poking out the centers, I glued them in place. And so instead of having that detailed look, so let me pull one in that. So here, this is what it looks like when you punch out the center. And then this is when you glue all the centers back in place. Okay, so here's this card, and there's the inside of that one. And then this one, I used that Be Dazzling paper, and I just used it as the gold. I didn't color anything on this one. And so this one, I did do some gold embossing with this flower, and then obviously cut it out with the die. But this paper is that Blackberry Beauty paper that's in the mini catalog. Can you see the shimmery on it? It was perfect for this card. This paper is so pretty. And so there you go with that one. And again, the instructions for all of these will be on my blog. Not immediately. It takes me a while to get them all on there, but eventually they will be there. That's why you want to, if you go to my blog, you want to go over to the right where it says follow me and stick in your email so that when I add a new card, you'll see. So then, okay, so this one, I gotta explain what I did. So when I cut out this detailed die, it had all these little pieces. So let me show you. Here's the pieces. And these pieces like were in there, right? And so it had all these little pieces. But it was with this really pretty paper, and I didn't want to just like throw that stuff away. So wait till you see. Ta-da! So then I took those little pieces and I formed the flowers. And I stuck them on like this. Now this is really easy to do because if you haven't seen me do it before, I may have to do it for you again, but I use press and seal. And so I basically what I call do a dry run. So I laid all the flower petals down, pushed press and seal on top of it, picked it up, turned it over, put all of my glue on the back, and then laid it back down. And this is the card. Dun, da, da. So pretty, huh? I love it. And then I went ahead and put one on the inside. And you'll notice when I do thank you cards, I don't always put something on the inside because I usually write a little personal note for what they've done. But isn't that pretty? And then this is also the hand pen designer series paper. So yay! So yeah, so we have the Shaded Summer stamp set. Let me see if I can get I don't know why I'm getting a shadow there. And then we use the summer shadow dies, and we used the Be Dazzling paper. And here's all the cards that we got with with these. And remember, these two are free. $100 purchase for this one, $50 purchase for this one. Absolutely free. Okay, so look at all the beautiful cards that I was able to create with these two celebration items and then this shaded. And the reason I use the Shaded Summer, because if you didn't already have that stamp set, I wanted to show you what was possible with it and why you might want the die and the stamp set. So there you go. There's my menagerie of cards and products that we worked on today. I'm going to put this up one more last time. If you want to place an order with me and get any of these items for free, you can do that at juliebrown.stampinup.net. If your order is going to be under $150, please use that hostess code. Now, I do want to point something out to you that a lot of people forget. And with Celebration, there's a lot more items than what I showed you. And it's not just spend $50 and get one thing free. It's for every $50 you spend, you can get a free item. So you can get the Be Dazzling paper. You can get this paper. I'm just going to go over this really quick. You can get this Feels Like Home stamp set, which if you go to my blog, I've got some on there that I did with that. There's this beautiful pin designer series paper. These are all $50 purchases. You can get this really fun peaceful prints. You can get the counting sheep. You can get the dies to match the counting sheep. So let's say you placed an order of $100 and you wanted this whole set. So if you placed an order for $100, you can get the counting sheep and the dies. So you've got the bundle, boom, right there. And then of course we've got the textured frames. And then here's the summer shadows, which I showed you today. So realize it's for every $50, you get a free item. And then we have a couple items in there. There's, oh, I didn't show you the last one. So sorry. I'm going to be playing with this one next week. This is the Delicate Dahlias stamp set. And it's for a $100 purchase, you can get this one for free. We're going to be playing with this one on next Tuesday. So make sure you chime in then. Anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed what I did today and that you love these cards and you can see the benefit of the free things that you can get through Stampin' Up. I really appreciate, for those of you that will come in and watch this later, I again apologize for all of those of you that watched it last night. I'm so sorry that we had so many issues, but it's here now. It'll be on this site so you can come back and look at it. I also will be uploading it to my YouTube channel. If you are watching this on my YouTube channel, please make sure you subscribe and like, and also leave me comments because I'll be able to go in and see the comments later. So again, I appreciate when anyone gives me even a moment of their time, and I hope I taught you something and that you found this beneficial. And I will be seeing all of you next week on Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Talk to you soon. Bye.